A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Mayank Goyal, welcome you all here on behalf of CWPH. Today, we are here to get valuable lessons on by our esteemed professor, Dr. Malik ma'am, on the topic Nurturing Wellbeing in Students, Empowering Minds. As we are familiar with the Dr. Malik ma'am very well, I would like to tell more information about which you might not know. She recently showcased her research at the AASP 2023 conference in Hong Kong and was honored with the prestigious K.S. Young Award for Young Researchers in whole Asia. She did her MA in Psychology from CCH University of Meerut, followed by her PhD in Psychology from IIT Kanpur. Not only this, she has actively participated in international conferences organized by the University of Japan, Portugal, Ireland, Pondicherry, and many more. So, without wasting any time, I would like to call Dr. Malik ma'am on stage to empower us with their thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. So just to give you a brief overview, what I was just saying, that, we talk a lot about happiness. We focus on the idea that we have to be happy throughout the day. Some of the students I've seen, they maintain their timetable. And in that they say that from this hour to this hour, I was feeling okay, I was feeling happy. But one thing that we need to understand, that happiness as a feelings comes with certain changes or achievements. It is not something that throughout the day you are going to experience. So you have to focus on the other aspect which leads to happiness. Like you have to focus on your academic well-being, where you have to see that you maintain a good CGPA. I'm not saying that everyone will be getting A grade throughout all courses, but what you need to maintain is a good CGPA. That will help with your mental health, your well-being, because you are here for that purpose. You are at LNMIIT, you have got a good J score, because of which you are here. When you are here, one of the most important aspect which is there and which you need to focus is your academic well-being. So you need to work out for your CGPA, you need to prepare for your placement. So if you are doing all those things effectively, if you are focused on that, then around 50% of your issues you have sorted out. So please focus on that, maintain a proper timetable for that, to focus on your academic well-being. And one thing that as teachers, most of us who are teaching will agree that once you drop it in the first or second semester, it becomes little difficult to pick up. When you have to pick up, you have to put extra efforts. So suggest this to your juniors, and you also take the suggestion that wherever you are right now, you have to pick it up from there. Don't let it slip. So just be cautious that, okay, as soon as I enter any institute, I have to be focused, because what is your aim here? Yes? What is the aim? Why are you here? Yes? Get a good job, to learn, and for your growth, right? These are the years which will help in your mental, physical growth. So you are here for your for learning, for getting a job, and which is basically a result. Basically, if you look at placements, your job, that is not the prime thing. Your prime thing is learning. Your prime idea is academics. Placement is a result of that. If you study hard, you prepare for it, placement and job is going to happen. You are going to achieve that. That is basically an outcome. But what you have to do is you have to put efforts. So the input is important. If your input is right, input is correct, outcome will definitely be correct. So you have to focus on the academics. And once your academics are fine, you are able to manage that, most of your things will work for you. And another important thing which I feel and from my experiences I have gained is relationship issues that you are struggling with. And don't think that only you are struggling with that. All of us are doing that. At my age, at sir's age, and I think, everyone has those issues. Whether you are single, you have a relationship, definitely those issues are there. You're married, you have a spouse, we have issues with them also. So we have to resolve those problems. And there are different ways of resolving those problems. But please understand one thing, that there is, I don't think in the world there is any problem which cannot be solved. Even the mathematical equations that were not solved for the centuries, people were able to solve them. So if the solutions can be found for such complicated problems, then relationship issues can also be resolved. First of all, we need to understand that what is it that we are looking for in a relationship, and then we need to understand what the other person is looking for in the relationship. And if it's work out, well and good. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. Isn't it? बहुत लंबी है ज़मी, मिलेंगे लाख हंसी, इस ज़माने में सनम तू अकेली तो नहीं या अकेला तो नहीं. So, and this is true at your age, not at my age. Once I have taken a decision, this is not true for me. Once I have taken a decision, undoing that is even more difficult. So, you try to think through the issues that are there, think through the problems which are there, try to understand people, just don't jump on assumptions. Most of our decisions are governed or are guided by something which is known as stereotypes. All those who have studied psychology are well aware of what are stereotypes, right? So most of our decisions are governed and guided by stereotypes. लड़कियां ऐसी होती हैं, लड़के ऐसे होते हैं. So at this age, in this institute, you have got this opportunity to talk to people, make friends, talk to people coming with diverse experience. One thing which is best about LNMIIT is the diversity which is there, not in terms of gender. In terms of gender, there's not much diversity, but the diversity is there in terms of students coming from different geographical location and the other diversities that are there, like the socioeconomic status and other things. So try to encash that opportunity, try to explore, try to understand people, talk to them, find out, and in your life, don't be just guided by the ideas which are there in the book. Most of the time you try to understand people, and especially this happens with psychologists. We try to understand everybody, and especially those who are in the field of social sciences, we try to understand everybody just by the ideas which are there in the group, which are there in the book. Correct? Isn't it like that you studied about social loafing in the psychology class, and after that, whenever you form a group, you try to look, okay, who is this person who is a freeloader in this group? Who is this who's not working in the group? So mostly we read certain things. I have seen that people read about, there are certain books which are very popular among students. One of the book is Habits, right? Atomic Habits, and it talk about how you can bring a change in your habits. Yes, there are certain habits that required to be changed. There are certain habits that required to be, inculcated. You have to begin from the very initial stage, which is not there. So we have to focus on all these things, and we have to identify. And one thing which you need to understand is that any solution which is working for your friend is not going to work for you. You have to look for your solution. Like for me, happiness is different, but for you, it might be different. There are people who like traveling. For them, happiness is travel. There are people who are achievement oriented. For them, happiness is grades. There are people who are materialistic things oriented. For them, happiness is buying a car. Happiness is luxury. So we do not need to define other people's happiness. I don't need to say that you are buying materialistic things, so you might not be happy. I don't need to say that you are only achievement oriented, you might not be happy. These are certain ideas which are there and which are being propagated. But you need to identify your own happiness. So just don't go by the ideas on social media that traveling is the new thing. People who travel can only find happiness. It is not necessary. People who are lazy, like me, sitting in their office and homes, they also find their happiness. It is not necessary that every time you have to go out and feel that pressure. Identify. For me, travel is an anxiety. I don't want to go out. So identify what is your happiness. What is it that gives you that satisfaction? So close your eyes for 2 minutes and think about it. When in your life you have felt really happy? Yes, will you do it? Think about that moment when you felt happy. The last time you experienced that happiness. So maybe now you have the answer, whether it was traveling with your friends, whether it was participating in the cultural fest, or it was organizing that fest, that idea of organizing something, or whether it was getting A grade in a course or something else, spending quality time with your friends, family. So you will be able to identify your own happiness. So just don't get governed by the ideas that are being floated on several social media platforms. And all of us get influenced. Don't think that at this stage I don't get influenced or sir doesn't get influenced. All of us get influenced. Social influence is there, that exists for everybody. All of us will be influenced by certain ideas, but we have to identify that to what extent. This is one thing that I shared in my last class, which happened on last Thursday. And when I read this research, I was really surprised. So this is one of the findings which came out. This is one of the findings by the Center for Disease Control in US. And they came up with a list of top 10 diseases because of which people are dying right now. And the emerging trend suggests that there are two diseases which are, there are two disease or two things that are coming up in that list and are rising every year: heart stroke and brain hemorrhage. What is the reason? What do you think is the reason? Stress, okay. So he was in my class, so he knows about it. So after that, there was another study that was conducted to understand that what is it which is contributing most, because when social media and especially Instagram came, there was a hype which was created for travel. Everyone was traveling. Then there was another hype that was created, which was for fitness. Everybody was fitness freak. And then after that, we have seen that people who really worked on their fitness, they were in the gyms working out. People were like cycling for 50 kilometers every day, 100 kilometers every day. And, they have maintained that perfect BMI. And still, they experience stroke and brain hemorrhage. One of the reasons that emerged is sleep deprivation. Our mind needs to relax. What we are doing right now is we are exposing ourselves to too much information. There's so much information which is available on, just a click away. Abhi mujhe kuch information chahiye, I don't have to talk to people, I don't have to find out. I just have to search and the information is there, and then I can read thousands of articles about it. And people do. We do read about it. Then you scroll on social media, there is so much information. When you are acquiring so much information, there are information which are relevant, there is information which is irrelevant. When you are acquiring so much of information, your mind needs to relax. And second point, when we become very fitness oriented, that means we are exerting our body. When we are exerting our body also needs to relax. And what we are doing is, we are not letting our mind and body relax. The time that you are investing on social media, where is it coming from? The time that Netflix is stealing from us, where is it stealing from? It is not from our office hours mostly. It is not from the time that we were like 1 or 2 hours that we were giving to the family, because they are real humans. They know how to get that time. Where is that time coming from? We are compromising with our sleep. And compromising with our sleep means that we are not letting our mind and our body relax. And that is what is making a difference. And this is why we see that recently there have been reports which suggest that people are dying suddenly, people are exercising and suddenly they're dying because of heart attack or brain hemorrhage, strokes, and it is becoming a leading cause of death in human being. And all thanks to social media, Netflix, and our own sleeping patterns which are there, because we do not maintain any pattern, right? And especially at your age, there's no pattern that we maintain. We are like, अभी नींद आ रही है तो अभी सो जाते हैं, 2 घंटे में उठेंगे, फिर पढ़ेंगे, फिर 4 घंटा सो जाएंगे. So that sleep pattern which we used to maintain in the earlier days, and especially जब electricity नहीं होती थी, या इतनी frequently available नहीं होती थी, जैसे कि when I was a child, I was growing up, इतनी frequently electricity थोड़ी आती थी, और टीवी में भी एक ही चैनल आता था, तो हम जल्दी से देख के सो जाते थे 8-10 बजे और आराम से 10 घंटा सोते थे. But now that is not happening even with children. They are also like 6 hours. 6 hours तब होता था जब हमारे पास कम information थी, हमारे mind को उतना relax करने के लिए time की जरूरत नहीं थी. But now we have a lot of information, we are exerting ourselves physically, mentally. Please give time to your mind as well as your body to relax, and which should be through, like, you should have a proper sleep pattern, proper sleep cycle. Whenever I talk to people, like not only students, whenever I talk to people, one of the major problems that they are facing is that they are not able to sleep. They lie down on the bed and then they are not able to sleep, because and the reason for this is that we are not able to maintain a proper cycle. One day we will be sleeping at 10, trying to sleep at 10. Another day we have some work and we are sleeping at 1. So please try to maintain that pattern. All the time we are, like earlier office used to close at 5 or 6, but now that doesn't happen. All the time we are on our devices, because the office and the work is continuously happening. We are getting emails. So all that is, we are getting emails, we are getting texts, we are getting phone calls. So all the time we are working. So please try to maintain a proper sleep pattern. And don't get persuaded by Netflix and Amazon Prime and even YouTube. They will always, showcase that in the next episode, you will get to see the best possible things. But every episode is as boring as the earlier one. So just keep that in your mind. This episode will also be as boring as the earlier one was. And you need to sleep. So focus on that idea. Another important thing that I observed during my interaction with you all is a problem with time management. Exams are over. Now I don't want to even look at the books. There's no particular pattern. You do not dedicate specific time. And I should not say you. I should also talk about myself. Even I am not able to maintain that particular pattern which is there. But once you maintain a pattern, it will be easy. If you start dedicating that, okay, these 2 hours are for my placement preparation, these 2 hours are for my academics, these 2 hours are for my sports and other activities like recreational activities. And if we are able to maintain that pattern, it will really help us to come out of this situation that we face every time before the exams, that we are not prepared. So we have 18 hours. Now we cannot sleep. We have to divide the syllabus and study. We experienced this problem because timely we had not prepared. So that is one suggestion that I want to give to you, is that please try to maintain proper sleep and proper time for yourself. And one thing which we are really focusing on right now is mental health. We talk about it. Yes, we do. It is now, earlier there used to be a taboo about mental health, but now people are openly talking about it. Don't think that every time you experience a problem, you need to visit a counselor, or you need to pay for those services like 1,500, 2,000 rupees every time. Talk to your friends, talk to your teachers, talk to your parents. They will also be able to share their life experiences with you. and will be able to help you come out of it. So just don't assume that it is only the counselor which will be able to help me. Don't assume that I am experiencing relationship problems, so only I am experiencing. You are not the only one. There's no problem which is only specific to me. These problems are there with the other people, and sharing your problem will help you in resolving that. And even if it cannot be resolved, you will experience something which is known as emotional catharsis. Do you remember what it is? You will experience emotional catharsis, where once you talk about your emotions, you will be able to release that energy. And once you release that energy, you will be able to see the difference in your experiences. The anxiety that you were experiencing, it will come down. So don't just limit yourself to your rooms. Don't limit yourself to social media. Don't limit yourself to devices, because on social media, everyone is only going to share their best photographs. The photograph in which I will be looking good, and I don't even care how the others are looking. I just see, acha main achhi lag rahi, so let me upload. And this is what everyone is doing. So everyone is uploading their best photographs. That doesn't mean that everyone's life is best. Everyone has struggles in their life. Your struggles are not only limited to you. Everyone has struggles. Like your generation has specific struggle. One thing that I see with your generation is how to keep yourself away from social media, mobile devices. Like on mobile, like sir has this mobile in his hand. Once there will be a blink and he will be like, okay, I have to see. Well, that becomes a conditioned reflex now. I cannot stop myself from looking at my mobile. If there is a sound, that notification is there, I have to look at it. Earlier, machines were being used by humans, like cycle. वो बहुत खड़ी है, it is lying there. If I decide, then only I will use it. But now that doesn't happen anymore. This mobile decides whether I will be using it or not. There's a blink, there is this notification, and I start checking what it is. And then I see, okay, people are traveling, people are enjoying, but I am stuck with my academics. मुझे इतना पढ़ना पड़ रहा है. अगर मैंने दूसरा कोई कोर्स या दूसरा कोई कॉलेज ले लिया होता तो इतना नहीं करना पड़ता. But that is not the reality. They're sharing their best experiences, not their worst experiences. Their worst experiences, people will share those who are with you in this struggle. So your friends are also experiencing the similar experiences. They will share those experiences. So you need to talk to your friends. You need to talk to the people who are around you, and start sharing things with your parents, with your family. They are very important. And start discussing these things within the friend group. So all the time you're experiencing a problem, that doesn't mean you have to run to a counselor to take lessons about mental health. And as I shared during my classes also, that like whenever we experience any physical problem, our body has its own internal capacity and mechanism to fight against that. Like fever hota hai, body also fight against the viruses that is there. Similarly, our mind also has the capacity to fight against the negative experiences which are there. Like sometimes you might have experienced, and especially this happens in the winters during evening, you experience low mood. That's अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. There's no reason. That is like unexplained low mood that happens, and that happens with mostly everybody. So at that time, you do not need to think about, okay, do I have some mental health problem, and then you will go to Google and start looking for low mood, and then it will start showing. Low mood is a symptom of almost all mental health problems. So it will start from bipolar and end on schizophrenia, and then you will be stuck. Okay, what is the problem? What is it? And then you will run to the psychiatrist or the counselor. Wait for 2-3 days. Our mind has that capacity to fight these negative experiences. If in 2-3 days you are not able to recover, that means you need help. Then you start and you look for help, first of all, around yourself. So you have wonderful faculty members, you have wonderful friends, you have wonderful families. Look for that help within this structure, first of all. And if you feel that within this structure you are not getting that help, and even if you are getting that help that is not helping you, then you should move beyond that and then reach to the professionals. Like straight away, if you reach to the professionals, then they will talk about all these things that I am also talking about here. If you go and visit any of these faculty members, they will also tell you, okay, they will ask you certain questions, and they will be able to just say that, okay, your problem is coming from your academics, or it is coming from the relationships that issues that you are experiencing, so you need to improve on these things. And one suggestion that I always give to most of you is that try to develop a hobby. And that hobby that you are developing, if it is taking into account your physical activity also, like if you love to play certain sports and you are doing that, that will really help you in recovering from certain negative experiences that you had in your life. Like, say for example, breakup, one problem that most of you have at this age. Now, don't think that it is particular to you, it is there with everybody. So now the breakup has happened, we cannot do anything. अब किसी को stop तो नहीं कर सकते, किसी को जबरदस्ती अपनी life में भी नहीं ला सकते. So we need to work on ourselves at this point. We cannot work on the outside things. We need to improve the inside things. And how that happens? I believe that there are two ways. One is you find someone else, because that's the best healing experience. यहाँ पे breakup हो गया, so let's look for solitude in the other people who are around us. So make good friends at the time. Don't just jump from relationship to relationship. Make good friends. And apart from that, develop, channelize your energy. Play certain sports, that really helps. Play certain sport, or develop a hobby which is there, which will help you in growth, which will help you in attaining the objectives of your life. And as I said in the beginning, one thing that you need to identify is what is giving you happiness. It is not necessary that I will never be able to define your happiness, and you can never define my happiness, and even my happiness is not static. Today, I might feel very happy achieving something, but tomorrow that might not happen with me. Tomorrow, my happiness would be, maybe other people in my life doing good could define my happiness. So today, I don't like traveling, but maybe down the line, 10 years down the line, I might enjoy traveling. So you need to open up yourself for the experience. You need to experience things, and you need to see after experiencing what is working for you. So don't just be guided by certain ideas which are present on social media, or certain ideas which are served to you. Try to find your own happiness, try to find your own idea of well-being. So if I look at the definition of well-being, it takes into account your physical and mental health. And where is that physical and mental health coming from? So you need to take into account, first of all, your physical health, because you have to live with this body for at least 70 years if everything goes well. So take care of your body. That is very important, because it is one thing which is going to stay with you. Everyone else can go, but this is there. Till the time you are there, your body is also there. So take care of your physical health, and your physical health will also reflect your mental, will also be reflected in your mental health. So the two are not like distinct identity. They are linked to each other, and very closely linked to each other. The way you take care of your physical health, your body, you also need to take care of your mind. You need to see what are the things that are unnecessarily stressing you. And as I said, stress is not something which is bad. So don't think that aaj mujhe stress hai to this is bad, I'm feeling little anxious. Before anything you begin, like when you appear for interviews, and if you are not feeling stressed or anxious, then there is a problem. Little bit of stress will help you in improving your performance. That optimum level of stress is required for your performance. And if you are not at all stressed, not at all anxious, then there is a problem. Because these are normal phenomena that every human being experience whenever there is a change in life, whenever there is something which is going to happen, whenever somebody is going to evaluate. Like my colleagues will agree with me, whenever we are not completely prepared for the class, we experience anxiety. Even when we are prepared, little bit of anxiety and stress is always there, that how is it going to go? And especially when we deliver certain talks, lectures, and even when we appear for interviews, we experience that stress. That is a normal phenomenon. So just don't try to run away from stress, anxiety. Little bit of it is required. It has to be there. Otherwise, we will not be able to perform. So stress is good for performance. Too much of stress is definitely not good, but an optimum level of stress is good for performance. Like, when do you start preparing for your placements? कब करना शुरू करते हो? Like, don't tell me कि इस ईयर में या इस सेमेस्टर में. वो फीलिंग कब आती है कि अब मुझे पढ़ना है? एग्जाम से पहले वो फीलिंग कब आती है कि अब मुझे स्टार्ट करना है पढ़ना? जब थोड़ा डर लगना शुरू होता है. That okay, the time is close, I haven't studied. And whenever there is a fear, there will be little bit of stress which you will experience, and that stress will help you in performing. So don't try to run away from stress, anxiety. They are going to happen. You have to work on something which is known as the coping mechanism. Anxiety to life में होगी ही, stress life में होगा ही, but I have to figure out what is my coping mechanism. What is it that works best for me? So I have to identify, can I cope with can emotional catharsis help me in coping? If I share my problems with other people, does it help me in releasing my emotions and that energy, negative energy which is there? For someone, it can work. For others, it might not work. For others, it might be, let me channelize my energy to certain sports. It can work for them. For some people, it would be like, let me finish this task. Only then I will be able to relax. So everybody has different coping mechanisms. We identify our problem, and we also have to identify that what are the coping mechanisms that we have to use in our life to overcome these issues which are there. So finally, concluding this lecture, as in I just felt like taking a class. So just concluding, I want to say, please maintain a proper time table, like maintain a proper schedule for yourself. And this schedule for your studies, for your academics is very well required, but this is required for your sleep. And focus on your sleep patterns. Like, sleep is very important for your mental health, your physical well-being, and also for your good looks. Like, sleep is very important for your good looks. Huh.
I can think of two models that I've heard of.
Huh.
One model is a sleep cycle of as low as 3 hours, and then working for the remaining 89 hours. There's another model that I've heard of that says that the body actually requires rest, not that much. So if you are able to rest your body in some body posture or something, then you can reduce the sleep cycle to as low as 2.5 to 3 hours. 2.5 is absolutely clean. How do you look at those cases?
But if I look at the evidences that are there in research, and they have also updated their idea. Like, earlier it used to be 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but now they're suggesting that at least a human being should take 8 hours of sleep. And if I talk about these models which are there, I'm not sure that what is the credibility behind them. Like, have they been well researched, or is it just based on certain assumptions that few people have floated in the media?
They are personal claims.
Personal claims. So, as a researcher, I think we will not go by the personal claims. We will go by the research, the ideas that have been well researched, documented, and which are being updated every now and then based on the concrete data which is there.
And if a person is not able to sleep for 8 hours continuously, does it suggest that body does not require 8 hours of sleep? Or the body has got tuned in such a manner that it is in the habit of remaining sleep deprived, but it not get enough sleep in one go?
But then we also need to see what is the impact of this on performance of individuals. Maybe I'm not able to sleep for 8 hours properly, but is it impacting my performance? Do I feel lazy throughout the day? So if it is impacting my performance, definitely I require that longer duration of sleep. Yes. It is the average. Yes. On all these medical papers, you can read them on PubMed, then JSTOR, Scopus Index journals you can look for. And when you once start reading these research, then already you will be getting, thanks to Google, you get those kind of suggestions. So when you start looking for the mental health, how to improve your mental health, so you will get certain interesting readings which are there. Yes, Dr. Mohit.
How would I know I'm happy or not? By not getting any feeling.
That's the best state. Matlab, if you are not feeling bad about something, your mood is fine, you are okay with your life, that I think is the best state.
That is happiness. Like there should be some point kind of not getting any feeling is happiness, getting some sort of feeling is happiness.
If we look at the formal definition of happiness, it is getting those positive feelings which people talk about, like joy, happiness, those positive feelings which include happiness. But the another perspective which is there, which is related to happiness, is that every individual will not experience happiness all the time. It is that normal state of emotions which is there.
Is normal.
Ha.
Second thing, does reverse psychology helps in this case. If I do something, I get happy. If I try to remain happy, will I get better, do better? That is that thing. Suppose if I study, I get score good marks, I'll be happy. But if I try to remain happy, will I be able to score good marks?
That I don't think, I have not come across any research which suggests something like this.
And one more question about the countering thing, like something which, if I suppose just take an example of alcohol, I take alcohol, that makes me less stressed, that makes me happy. But alcohol again giving me health conditions as well. So these two things are countering each other. So if poor health means unhappiness, and alcohol having means less stress means again happiness. So what should I do in this case?
But alcohol is not giving happiness in the normal state of mind. That is because you are, that is an avoidance strategy basically. So if we look at different strategies, different mechanisms of coping, there are certain positive mechanisms of coping and there are negative mechanisms of coping.
In this sense that suppose eating some kind of suppose pizza or burger makes me happy. Okay, I'm eating pizza, but I know this is not good for health again. I might be getting some sort of health issues later on, or right away even. Then poor health means unhappiness. So what should I do in this case?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is when you say that your traveling is happiness, when you say sleeping is happiness, when you say like achieving something is happiness, then I should know that eating is happiness or not. It is pleasure. That's the difference.
And the point that I was trying to make is that if we look at happiness, we experience happiness after something is happening, like momentary. Happiness is a momentary feeling, which can last for certain days, when we do something, but it is not something which is a normal feeling, which will be continued for, say, for weeks or for months.
Is happiness or not?
Feeling of?
Pleasure is, as ma'am said, that pleasure is happiness or not?
It's transient. Happiness is long.
Suppose if I happiness is again necessary.
That's what you should do.
But when I get happy for those 2 days or when I'm doing something, that again is transient. If I score good marks, I will be happy for 1 or 2 days again, it is transient.
Yes.
How would I make a difference?
So if we look at pleasure, pleasure is once you are doing something, you are experiencing that for that particular moment. Happiness continues for like sometimes, a certain time, and then you have to be happy. Again, you have to do something. Say, for example, as a researcher, when you publish a paper, you feel happy for 2 months, but that will not continue. So that continuation is for 2 months. But if you stop doing it, then you will feel pleasure once you get that email that your paper is being accepted. You will feel pleasure. Then happiness will continue for maybe 2 months. And after that, again, if you are achievement oriented person, again you have to focus on your achievement to be happy, to get that experience of happiness again.
Pleasure and happiness, there is a time scale.
Yes, yes. There is another thing. Like Bhagavad Gita will say, still practice, where your mind is still. You are not swayed by any disturbances happening.
So if we look at psychology since its beginning, and especially if we look at the work that was being done in psychology, it began after World War II. And people started taking interest in psychology after World War II, Holocaust that leads to those Milgram's experiment and Stanford prison experiment that were being conducted. And from there we see that initially psychology used to focus on mostly the negative aspects, the negative human emotions, mental health issues. And from there, around 90s to 2000, there come a point where psychology started focusing on positive emotions, where we used to talk about optimism, we used to talk about hope, resilience, we talk about happiness. All that began, and especially this concept of happiness, which was given by Martin Seligman. And after that, this idea of positive psychology came into being, and we explored. And from there, if we look at the recent trends, then yes, psychology is also trying to explore about the ideas of stillness of emotions. Like all the time, we cannot be happy or we cannot be sad. There is this point where we do not feel anything. We are just normal beings. So that these ideas are also being explored now. So if we look at the journey of psychology, it was like we began with the negatives, went to the positive, and then we are now trying to find the mediating ways, like the Buddhist philosophy. Madhyam marg hi uttam marg hai. So now we are trying to explore the Madhyam marg.
So no feeling is the ultimate happiness. Otherwise, other things are like positive is like
That depends on you, whether no feeling will be ultimate happiness for you or not.
but if somebody is getting happy again, like we'll have to do something again to make him happy. That means that
Huh.
that would be an ultimate happiness. That will be like you have to do something.
Huh.
No feeling means like you can stay like this forever without doing anything and you will still be okay.
Without doing anything for,
Without getting influenced or without getting any emotions inside.
like, say for example, without doing anything, does this mean that we are not doing anything at all?
Not doing anything. That means
Like living a normal life,
not getting emotionally influenced.
not getting emotionally influenced. Huh?
I'll do my work, but I won't get emotional about anything. And if somebody says to me, I won't get
Yes.
emotional. If
That-
somebody is praising me, I won't get emotional again. If somebody is abusing me, I won't get.
Yes.
I think this would be the true happiness.
People have achieved that stage also in their life. There have been examples where people have achieved this stage, or people claim to achieve this stage, but I am not very sure. I am not very sure that whether human beings can reach to a stage where they're not getting influenced, because research and psychology suggest that human beings have tendency to be influenced, and that is when we show conformity, compliance, obedience. We show laughing, we show our impact on performance. Like say for example, if you are writing an exam and the instructor who has taught you just stands behind it, start reading, what happens?
That's why Buddha is also rare.
Yes. So we get influenced. Maybe difficult to achieve that state.
I have one more challenge. If everybody starts achieving that state of Buddha, for instance,
Huh.
will society be that livable? Because society needs those ups and downs, moods. If there are no emotions, it is like coldness of life.
Yes,
Not anything.
I I agree with you. I agree. Matlab, when people talk about their, when people talk about their family issues, they say that my family is like this, and mostly there is an age when people talk about those issues, that which is not our age, which is like the students' age, where they talk about my family is like this and they are like this. Society is telling me to do this, and then I tell them that after 10 years, you will say that I need people to tell me something, whether positive or negative. I need that collage in my life little bit to keep moving, to have that, to enjoy that life, to have people around ourselves. So that is also required. It is not the human life, we just cannot look at things from one single lens, one single perspective. So thank you. Thank you for organizing this, and thank you for hearing me and attending. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of wisdom. They will truly be an inspiration source for all of us, and I believe that they guide us in various walks of life. I would like to invite Dr. Manju Dhariwal, ma'am, on stage to present bouquet to Dr. Anu Malik, ma'am.
Been a privilege to be your colleague. We'll miss Dr. Malik in the department.
Thank you so much. These words mean a lot to me.
As we know that Dr. Anu Malik, ma'am, departing from our institution, we would like to present a song as a sign of gratitude. For that, I invite Noor Girdar on stage.
गुड आफ्टरनून टू वन ऑल प्रेजेंट हियर माय नेम इज नूर एंड आज मैं एक स्टूडेंट के और एक दोस्त के दिल की बात आपके सामने रखना चाहूंगा. पहले मैं एक स्टूडेंट से शुरू करता हूँ. हो 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 गुरु में संसार समाया, उनका है आशीष पाया. प्रभु ने खुद से भी ऊंचा गुरु का है स्थान बताया. ये गुरुवर तो ज्ञान के सागर है, इनसे ही जन्नत है. कि गुरुवर तो ज्ञान के सागर है, इनसे ही जन्नत है. हो 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 सुना है आंगन और सुना ये मन, गुरुवर ना जाओ कहती है ये धड़कन. सुना है आंगन और सुना ये मन, गुरुवर ना जाओ कहती है ये धड़कन. तुम छोड़ के जाओगे, हम सबको रुलाओगे. यादों के मीठे पल और फिर याद आएंगे. प्यारी गुरबानी है, बड़ी ही सुहानी है. छोड़ के न जाओ गुरुवर, आंसू की रुआनी है. ये मैं एक दोस्त की तरफ से गा रहा हूँ. मेरी जिंदगी सवारी मुझको गले लगा के बैठा दिया फलक पे मुझे खाक से उठा के मेरी जिंदगी सवारी मुझको गले लगा के बैठा दिया फलक पे मुझे खाक से उठा के यारा तेरी यारी को मैंने तो खुदा माना याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना तेरे जैसा यार कहाँ ऐसा याराना मेरे दिल की ये दुआ है कभी दूर तू न जाए तेरे बिना जीना वो दिन कभी ना आए मेरे दिल की ये दुआ है कभी दूर तू न जाए तेरे बिना ओ जीना वो दिन कभी ना आए तेरे संग जीना यहाँ तेरे संग मर जाना याद करेगी दुनिया तेरा मेरा अफसाना यारा तेरी यारी को
What a wonderful performance by me. Please give. Now, I kindly invite Dr. Amit Niyogi sir, who is faculty mentor of CWPH, to come on stage and share a few words on this special occasion.
Good evening to all of you. So a few days back, students, last week I think, Jyoti and others approached me that they wanted to organize this talk by Anu Madam. So I was very happy because I never had a chance because I attended Narendra sir's class and I have also attended Manju Madam's class. But Anu Madam's class I never attended. So today was the first day and really it was a very wonderful and very lively lecture. So throughout, you have been telling all these ideas cheerfully without, using slides. So first time I heard you and it was very nice. And I think many of you listen to these ideas and we have to implement these actually that will help us in our life. So very nice, to hear you for the first time. And so I remember the first time when you came here long time back, and during that time I went to your office to discuss about positive psychology. But after that, I think we never exchanged much ideas. But you have been, and Madam has been very much involved in everything actually, whether it is a classroom or it is the admission cell. So as I used to see, because her car, which is a different car, very good-looking car, and that car was always there on Sundays, on odd hours, because usually I come other days also, and every time whenever I was here, I used to see her car. So she was too much involved with the admission cell, and I think many of you, when you were taking admissions, you interacted with her. So that way, and many other places also, she actively contributed, including the classrooms. And now today I came to know that a lot of good research she has done, and good publications and award she got. But unfortunately, we don't know when we have to leave, because I think it is all destiny, and when we have to leave and where we have to go, something is decided through the destiny. So anyway, we will be very much missing you, But I feel that wherever we are, please do remains connected with us, because I think everybody likes you here, and because of your personality, because of your involvement, and because of your cheerfulness. You're always cheerful and doing everything. So I and also from everyone, I wish you all the best wherever you are going, because things guide us because of many other factors. And I hope that you had a very very nice stay and you enjoyed the stay in LNMIIT, and everybody has given you a lot of love from here. So you will be also missing this institute. So wish you all the best. Wish you all the best. And if somebody wants to say something, is most welcome.
Now, I kindly invite Dr. Malik ma'am on stage and request Dr. Amit Yogi sir to present a memento to ma'am.
You can see, you can open your camera.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. You'll be remembering that actually. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. As we come to the end of today's event, I want to express our deepest gratitude to Dr. Malik ma'am for her invaluable contribution to our institution. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am. We also extend our heartfelt thanks to each one of you, and especially thanks to other faculties for joining us and giving their valuable time and for being a part of this memorable occasion. Let's give one final round of applause to Dr. Malik and to every. I request all of you to be on seat for 5 minutes. I would like to serve refreshments. Yes, yes, please.